Hey, what's up? It's Nathan here with thebtccourse.com, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a Bitcoin AntMiner S9. Now, it is December of 2023, and this thing's a few years old, so it is definitely not the most efficient miner on the market, and it actually only costs a couple $100s, which is pretty nice. So if you're interested in doing some home mining, learning a little bit more about Bitcoin mining, you might want to check this thing out. Now, some people are using it as a space heater as well because it does push some heat out of it. So I do have a little case study where I use it to heat my office, and I'll show you the results of that at the end of this video. But in this video, I'll show you how to set this thing up, how to connect to it, how to start mining, and then we'll go over that case study. So anyway, this is the miner right here. So you need that. You need this power supply unit right here, like this, and we're gonna connect the two. You need a power cord, and you also need a Cat5 cable so you can plug it into your modem. So if you have all those things, then it's just a matter of taking the plugs right here and plugging them into the chips right here. So there's 3 hashing chips right here, and then there's another plug right here that we need to go ahead and plug into. Now, it doesn't matter how you plug these things in, you can plug them anywhere. So you can just plug them in, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Alrighty, so I got all of them plugged in right there. So you can see I got 3, 3, 3, and then the one down here. Up next, you need to go ahead and plug in your Ethernet cable, and it should plug in right to the front of the mining device, just like that. And then we need to go ahead and plug our power cable into the power supply unit, plug that thing in like that. And then we need to go plug, the other end into our modem, and then this part into our wall. So we're gonna go do that. As you can hear, it does get pretty loud. At first, I thought that it was gonna explode, so I unplugged it quickly and I brought it outside. So if it did explode in my house, it didn't cause a big problem, but it does make a lot of noise when it's first starting up. So that's just something to be aware of. Additionally, it does take about 3 to 8 minutes for it to fully start up. You'll know that your miner is ready when you see a green light right here for normal. And also you should see some lights on your hashing boards. There's 3 red lights right there. So once you see that, you can go to your computer for the next steps. Alrighty, so here we are at the computer, and the next step is to navigate to our router, so that way we can find the IP address of our Bitcoin miner. Now, in order to get to our router, you need to find the IP address of your router first. Now, it might be 192.168.1.1 or .2.1. Those are common router addresses. If neither of those work, you might have to go to Google and try and find it. Or some routers actually have the address on the bottom of the router, and you might have it right there. So anyway, the address for my router is 192.168.1.1. So I'll navigate there real quick. And I need to go ahead and plug in my admin password, which is on the bottom of my router. So you might have an admin password on the bottom of your router as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and type that in real quick. And what we're looking for is the IP address of our miner. So I wanna go to devices right here, and devices. And I can see my miner right here, so I'm going to scroll over real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and click on this little gear icon. Now, of course, your router might be a little different, but the concept remains the same. I'm going to be looking for an IP address. So I have an IP address right here, 192.168.1.237. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that, and I'm going to plug that into the address bar up here. And you should come into a login screen for your miner. Now, my miner is running the Brains operating system. However, if your miner is running the default operating system or another one, your username and password is probably root and root. So ROOT and ROOT. And we'll go ahead and log in. Now, the Brains operating system does have a little bit of a different dashboard and some different functions and features. However, the concept remains the same. What we want to do right now is connect to a pool, so that way we can start contributing our hash rate and earning some Bitcoin. So I want to come to configuration right here, and we can see that I don't have any pools right here. So I need to go ahead and add a new pool, and we need to add a pool URL, username, and possibly a password. So what you need to do is figure out what pool you want to go ahead and join. Of course, there's a bunch out there. And we can come over to mempool.space and look at some of the pools here if we need an idea. So there's Ant Pool, which is the largest one, Founder USA, F2 Pool, Via BTC, Binance Pool, and so on. So a bunch of different pools that are out there that could be joined. But what I want to do is I want to join Ocean, which is a new pool that is decentralized or more decentralized than other pools. And it's actually backed by Jack Dorsey. Now, there is some controversy behind this pool because they don't want to mine ordinals. But I'm not going to discuss that in this video. The concept remains the same. We need to connect to a pool in order to start mining. So if I scroll down here and we click on Get Started and we scroll on down, we'll get the full instructions. So I need the full URL right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And then I'm going to come over to my pool URL and paste it in there. And then my username. So for the instructions, my username would be an address. So I need to enter a Bitcoin address to be my username. So this is where my Bitcoin mining rewards will go. So I have a wallet right here, and I'm just going to use this address right here just for the sake of example. And I'll go ahead and plug it in as my username. And it also states that my password should be X. So a lowercase x for the password. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in a lowercase x right there. And I'll click on Save. And now I'm connected to the Ocean mining pool. Well, actually, I do need to restart my miner in order for the changes to take effect. But before I do that, I want to show you that you can add additional mining pools. So that way, if like the Ocean mining pool goes down or something like that, like I have a backup to fall onto. And I also believe there are ways for you to split your hash power amongst different pools as well, but that's a bit beyond the scope of this video. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to leave one mining pool, and I'm going to go ahead and restart my miner right now. So I'm going to go to Actions here, and System, and Reboot, and Perform Reboot. Alrighty, so my miner has rebooted, and it's now out there hashing away. Now if I come back over to the Ocean website, I can come up here to Dashboard, and I can go ahead and search for my username, which again is my wallet address. So I'll go ahead and grab that real quick and plug it in and search. And here we go. So this is my estimated earnings next block. Includes promotional bonus. Cool. And I can see that I've had my hash rate average in the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 60 seconds, and so on. Are right there, so it looks like everything is hashing and it's tracking correctly. Now if I didn't see any numbers here, well then I might wait a few more minutes to see if anything pops up, and if nothing still pops up, well then I need to probably relook at my pool settings and stuff like that. But based on what I'm seeing right here, it looks like everything is working correctly, so that's nice. And I can see my latest earnings here. I can see my workers that are online, and I only have one worker, and my latest payout, and all this other information right here. And of course, this might change depending on what pool you join, but this is what Ocean has to offer at this point in time. And so with that, we are successfully mining. Now, like I said in the introduction to this video, I'm not expecting to make any money from this miner because it's kind of old and it's not very efficient. However, it is a good learning experience, and also it does generate a lot of heat, which means that I can use it to heat my office and things like that. So I want to show you a little bit of a case study that I did to see how much heat this thing actually generates. So I have this Google Sheet right here, and I'll include a link to it in the description down below. So if you want to play with it, you could go ahead and change some stuff around if you want to. But to quickly explain how the sheet works, so this is the time. So when I came into my office to check the temperature of my office. Now my office is above my garage, and it is kind of a cooler room in the house. It's about 1,152 cubic feet, just so you have that reference, and the current price of Bitcoin is $41,058.81. So just a few variables to keep in the back of your mind. Now the room temp, so it started at 67.5 degrees and we ended at 80.6 degrees. The sats, I started with 681 and ended with 1181. The minutes, so this is the different minutes between my checks right there. So I ran this experiment for 175 minutes. The temperature change between each check, so that my temperature in my room went up 13.1 degrees Fahrenheit. I earned 500 sats over the 175 minutes, so nearly 3 hours right there, so 500 sats. I earned about 20 cents during that time, so this took my number of sats with the Bitcoin price, and so I earned 20 cents. Now my cost right here, so this is how much it cost me in my electricity bill to pay for this experiment. And so my average cost per kilowatt hour is 12 cents from my energy company. And the Bitcoin miner is about 1.42 kilowatt hours that it runs. So using these two numbers, it calculates the cost right here. And of course, from there, I can calculate my revenue, which is just the dollars earned minus the cost to earn those dollars. And you can see that it is a negative yielding experiment right here. So basically I lost 30 cents, or I paid 30 cents in order to heat my room 13.1 degrees in about 3 hours. So that's just what you're thinking about. Now, how that costs and compares to a regular space heater, I'm not exactly sure. I need to do that probably to see what is a more cost-efficient way to heat a room. But anyway, it cost me about 30 cents for 3 hours. And so my revenue per hour was about negative 10 cents. So yeah, 10 cents per hour to heat my room. Or broken down another way, it costs about 2.2 cents to heat my office 1 degree. And so I did decide to do the experiment with a space heater. And so these are my results from using a space heater to heat my office. Now the room temp started at 68 degrees and it got up to 80.6 degrees. Ran this experiment for 151 minutes. The temperature changed 12.6 degrees. It cost me about 45 cents to do that. Now the space heater pushes 1.5 kilowatt hours versus 1.42 kilowatt hours for the miner. So a little bit more power from the space heater. And the cost per degree increase for the space heater was about 3.6 cents to increase the temperature of my room 1 degree. Now I came up here and I did add another column to the Bitcoin miner. So cost per degree increase. So this is just using the costs, not calculating the revenue that I'm earning or the funds that I've earned. So just straight costs, if I didn't earn anything extra, it would cost me about 3.8 cents to heat my room 1 degree. So that's just a difference of 0.02 cents to heat my room with a miner. But of course, I'm earning a revenue with my miner as well. So my actual price per degree to increase my room is only 2.2 cents compared to 3.6 cents because I'm not earning any funds with the space heater. So using a Bitcoin miner to heat your room may actually be a cost-effective method, especially if the price of Bitcoin starts to soar. And there is one other variable to consider, and that is the threshold for the mining pool to pay out. So you need to acquire a certain amount of Bitcoin before the mining pool will send it to you. Otherwise, they're not going to send you like a few hundred Satoshis on chain because that's going to be eaten up by fees. So you need to have a certain amount of Bitcoin mined before they send you the Bitcoin. So you want to make sure that you can reach that threshold of Bitcoin. Otherwise, you're never going to get paid. So with Ocean here, you need to earn 0.01 Bitcoin, which is, a million sats, which is honestly kind of a lot for a little S9 miner. Now AntPool, they have a lower fee, a minimum payment of 0.005, so 500,000 sats. So it's about half that of Ocean. Now Ocean is looking to add Lightning payments. And so if they do that, then that would be really awesome, especially for us small miners that only have, a single machine. So that's something to be on the lookout for, and also something to consider when you're choosing which pool you want to mine with. You want to make sure that you actually get paid those sats that you're mining. Otherwise, you're just using your miner as a space heater. Now just for some giggles, let's say that the price of Bitcoin goes up to $100,000. And we can see right there that I break about even. So then I'd be heating my room for free at this current rate of return. Now, of course, that's assuming the hash rate remains the same and so on. So there's a lot of variables right there, but just for fun, if Bitcoin was $100,000 on this day, then I would be breaking even and working in a very, very warm office. So anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, I appreciate any sorts of likes, comments, subscribes, anything like that. And or please check out thebtccourse.com. It is a free website with lots of Bitcoin training on it. And it's just my way to try and give back to the Bitcoin community. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of the day.